Hey everyone, my name's David, and I'm going to be going through the best LEGO Star Wars sets of the decade for 2010 to 2019. This is all my own opinion, so if you have a different opinion about what the best set is of a particular year, by all means leave it down in the comments below. Please don't get mad at me, but this is again my own opinion. So we're going to go ahead and start off with 2010, going back, wow, I can't believe it was 10 years ago basically. The Imperial Shuttle had actually a lot of functions for an Ultimate Collector Series set, including the fact that you could actually fold the wings up and down, and when it was in the down flight position, you could actually put it on the stand, and then when you wanted to have it up, there was a landing gear that came with it too. It was quite a set, had great minifigures, and a great value. Honorable mentions for 2010, I have to give it to the Clone Wars Clone Turbo Tank. This is by far probably the best iteration of the set that we've gotten this far. It beats out the 2015 version by a long shot. It's probably about the right size for the playset. Moving on to 2011, guys, this was actually a pretty hard year. Ultimately, I settled on the Millennium Falcon playset. So this is when LEGO actually brought it back and really refreshed it to the design that we know today. And for me personally, this was my first Millennium Falcon that I ever got in LEGO Star Wars. I didn't get the UCS original version or any of the other versions. Honorable mentions, you probably know what it is. It's the Executive Superstar Destroyer. This is a set that I was really debating on to put as the best set of 2011, but I figured that the Millennium Falcon was just a little bit more iconic and a set that a lot more people, I think, purchased that year and the years to come. It was a hard choice. You could go back and forth on this, but the Executive Superstar Destroyer is a beautiful set to have. Moving on to 2012, this was a fun year, and I actually chose a pretty interesting set. And it was because of the Old Republic. I chose the Sith Fury class Interceptor. This is such a great set. Oh my gosh. I thought the design of it and especially the minifigures you get with it were just superb. It was unique. It was different. We hadn't gotten that before. Honorable mentions for 2012. Palpatine's Arrest. I'm sure a lot of you probably didn't see that coming. I think this is a great set. You get a lot of figures. You get to recreate the episode 3 scene of basically Palpatine taking control and creating the Empire and, turning Anakin to Darth Vader. Like, so much happens. So it's hard not to choose. Moving on to 2013. Oh, you know what's coming. The Republic Gunship. Yes, this is the third iteration and still the newest. We haven't gotten a new one since 2013. And oh my gosh, I can go on all day why this is the best set of 2013. I don't think I need to make an argument for that, though. Everybody wants this set, even today here in 2019, going into 2020. It's probably one of the most wanted sets for a lot of LEGO Star Wars fans. And going on to honorable mentions for 2013. First up is the ATRT. This is the second iteration of the set, and it's a 501st version. What makes this set so special is the first time we ever got that very infamous 501st Clone Trooper, and we never got one since. Of course, I also had to put the Ewok Village UCS set in here too. I know a lot of people want that set. It's not my favorite. I enjoyed it, but I still thought the Republic Gunship was more iconic. Rancor Pit, because that was the first time we got the Rancor. And of course, the ATTE makes its third iteration, just like the Republic Gunship. Also a pretty solid set. It's a little small, but I still wanted to put it in as an honorable mention. So 2014, this is by far the best year of the decade, in my opinion. I'm sure a lot of people can argue this, but first, the best set of 2014. This is a hard choice too. I'd have to say it's the AT-AT. This is like the third or fourth iteration of the set, but it's by far one of the sets that pretty much all fans want to have. It's probably the best version we've gotten. Honorable mentions, there's a ton here. You guessed it, Kashyyyk Troopers Battle Pack. I put this in here because this is basically what made me want to create my Battle of Kashyyyk mock, which I spent years on. The Clone Turbo Tank Microfighter set, because that's the only, second to only set that we got the Clone Trooper Phase 2 in, the new version. We got the Ghost in 2014. We also got the Ultimate Collector Series Sandcrawler in 2014. And we got the Imperial Star Destroyer, the second iteration. And also Mos Eisley Cantina. I'm telling you, 2014 is the best year of the decade for LEGO Star Wars. Moving on to 2015. This was also a tough choice, but I went with the Ultimate Collector Slave 1. Oh man, how can you not love this set? The colors, the design, the build actually was fantastic for this set. It was so good that LEGO had this set run for 4 years. It actually just sold out early this year in 2019 in January. They had it running from January 2015 to January 2019. Honorable mentions for 2015. I actually, of the Force Awakens sets, I really enjoyed the First Order Transporter. Maybe I'm just a sucker for, that type of D-Day landing ship, but I really enjoyed this set. I got a couple actually when it first came out. Also have to put in the buildable action figure. The General Grievous was the only figure that really made sense and actually really worked for this design. All the other figures in the years to come were just strange, but General Grievous was a standout, and I really liked this figure. Another set that I thought was actually a really good value was the Battle Droid Troop Carrier. You got a lot of battle droids. If you ever wanted to build your droid army, this was the set to do it. If you happen to not get the MTT back in 2008, then this was like your second chance, basically, and I really enjoyed that set. Moving on to 2016, this was also a tough choice, but I went with the Death Star, and I'm sure this will be a little bit of a controversial topic down in the comments, but I recently got this set, and I gotta say, it was probably one of the most fun LEGO sets I've ever built. It's not the greatest looking, it's not like the Death Star 2 Ultimate Collector Series set where it looks like, the actual model. But I gotta say, I had so much fun building this set, and it's hard not to say it's the best. Honorable mentions for 2016. This was an interesting choice. The Rebel Combat Frigate, mainly because of that Ahsoka figure. Ahsoka making her return in Star Wars Rebels was a big deal, and I gotta say LEGO knocked it out of the park with that one figure, and I thought the set was solid. Also have to include a Rogue One set. I particularly like the AT-ST. I didn't think any of the Rogue One sets were particularly the best set of the year, but overall the AT-ST was one of the standouts. Moving on to 2017, best set of the year. You know what's coming. Come on. Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon. This is the set to get as a LEGO Star Wars fan. Yes, it costs $800. Yes, it is a 20-hour plus build at the very minimum, but this set is unlike anything else we've ever gotten in the last 20 years of LEGO Star Wars, and it is gorgeous and pretty much a set that every collector has to have. Moving on to honorable mentions of 2017. First up, a battle pack. I thought the Rebel Trooper battle pack was a fantastic set. If you wanted Rebels, I thought LEGO did such a great job with the minifigure design in this set, and the set itself was actually pretty great. I picked up a bunch of those. I absolutely love the First Order Star Destroyer. I actually really thought this was a good set. Overall, especially if you've seen Rise of Skywalker, it's a pretty useful set for the sequel trilogy if you want to ever make a mock or anything out of that, but I thought it was a solid set. Moving on to 2018, the best set was the new iteration of the X-Wing Starfighter. This is by far the best version we've ever gotten of the X-Wing. It's hard, I'm sure a lot of people were going to wonder why I didn't put the UCS X-Wing in here, but I'd say that this playset is just so good. I absolutely love the play functions, the figures, everything about it was great. Honorable mentions, we have the Battle or Defense of Crates, and I gotta say, this is a fun set for me because I was building a crate mock, had to put that in. I actually thought it was a pretty good value, and a lot of times the set was on sale for like $50 instead of $85, but overall, good set. Also put in the Solo TIE Fighter. I think this is also the best version of the TIE Fighter we've ever gotten. Really like that set. Moving on to current year, 2019, I chose the Imperial Star Destroyer, the second iteration. I mean, you pretty much saw that coming too. It is a gorgeous set. It's overpriced. The Falcon is, I feel like you could reason $800 for this, $700 for the Imperial Star Destroyer. I think the size justifies the price, but the actual piece count doesn't. So it's a hard pill to swallow for LEGO Star Wars fans. Overall though, it is a amazing set that any fan who builds it will absolutely enjoy. Overall, if you can justify the price, I don't think this is a set you can go wrong with. Moving on to honorable mentions of 2019, I thought the 20th anniversary Imperial Dropship was a solid set, actually. It's the first set where you could get a whole bunch of those new versions of the Stormtroopers. It's kind of controversial whether everybody likes that new helmet design or not. Overall, I liked it, and I thought it was a good set. It's actually being retired soon. Moving on to the AT-ST Raider, I thought this was also an important honorable mention. I thought this was probably one of the standout sets of 2019, especially if you're a fan of the Mandalorian TV show, because this set gets it perfectly right to a specific episode. Specifically, I believe it's Chapter Chapter 3 of The Mandalorian. So if you enjoyed the show, this is a set to have, and I think a lot of Star Wars fans in the years to come will wish they had gotten that. I also want to throw in Kylo Ren Shuttle. I feel like this was also a favorite among all LEGO Star Wars fans, even though it didn't make an appearance in Rise of Skywalker. And I went ahead and included 2020, even though it's not really part of the decade. So this is 2020 so far. My favorite pick is the Mandalorian Battle Pack. This is such a great set. It does such a great job, including different types of Mandalorians that we see from the Mandalorian TV show. I think a lot of people will enjoy this set. And if you haven't already, definitely pick it up as we go into 2020. So guys, that is my top picks of the decade for LEGO Star Wars sets. I want to know what your favorites are. Are they the same as mine? Are they different? Leave a comment down below. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in 2020. That's a horrible joke. Bye, guys.